Good morning, y'all. It's Nick with Urban Farm Boys. How's everybody doing? It is like 5:30 in the morning on a Sunday. We are in fall. We're back in my plant room. I just posted a video, my last video, where I relocated all of my houseplants back inside for the fall. It's always a bit of a sad day when all of my plants leave my front porch, but I really do love this plant room, and I like filming in here too, so I hope you enjoy the background. It's back for the winter. My entry into fall was rather chaotic. We just had a lot of stuff going on. We had visitors, we had my birthday, we went to Michigan for a wedding. I was also studying for my boards to become a certified nurse practitioner, and it was just a chaotic time. The most chaotic of all of it was actually studying and preparing to take my boards. I'm happy to report that I passed. So I'm officially a board-certified family nurse practitioner. I'm also licensed now in the state of New York. That just happened last week, so very exciting things have been happening. Amazing things, actually. So very excited about that. But it's been a chaotic fall, and it's mostly been chaotic in my brain. It's been a very long time since I've felt like things were so busy in my head. One of my favorite things about crochet actually is that it's really good at quieting my brain, turning off all the noise in the brain. But as we had so many things happening in sort of September, I was having a hard time focusing on anything in life, including my crochet projects. So I just jumped from project to project and started a bunch of new things. I'd get an idea and start something and then get bored with it and start something else, and it was just kind of a chaotic time. I think I've realized now that my boards are done and I've passed and I don't have to be studying and thinking about all of that, the brain waves have kind of turned down and I don't feel that kind of chaotic energy anymore in my head. But I thought I would show you guys all the things I've been working on in the early part of the fall. There's quite a few of them. I hope you guys are having a nice fall. I am drinking coffee out of a Fox right now. It's kind of an inconvenient cup because it has ears on it, but it's a nice big cup for your coffee. So I thought I would just spend the morning showing you guys all the things that I've been working on this fall. Some of these things I've been working on all year. I have my temperature blanket here. A lot of what I've been doing is just catching up on this because it got like months behind. Still catching up. I think I'm only about a month behind now, but we're making some good progress. And then I'll just show you some of the other things that I have started this fall. Did you guys see the video where I showed you my Chucky doll from Child's Play? I made this like 2 weeks ago. I don't know, I saw the kit on Instagram and I just had to do it. This was like a weekend project. I finished Chucky in about a day and a half and he cracks me up. I made a whole video about him if you want to watch that. I'll link it below. I have to say, I just, right before filming this video, it's still dark outside. I had to go upstairs to my yarn room to grab one of these things, and the box that this kit came in was in the yarn room with the Child's Play doll on the box, and like walking into the yarn room and seeing that in the darkness, it scared me just like I was a kid again. This thing is a little creepy, but I like him. So this was, I believe, last weekend's random project that I decided to take on. But I like him, he's cute. I've been making socks again. I started making socks last fall and winter, and I made some socks for me a few weeks ago. I started with one and then I threw it in the washer and dryer just to see how it would hold up. It held up just fine. It's getting a little fuzzy, but it also got a lot softer. So I'm trying to remember what the heck yarn I used for this. I'll have to think about it. If I can remember, I'll put it in the description. But I started with one, washed it and dried it. I was happy with it. And then I did another one. And I joined it together differently and I ended up joining it too tight. It's really tight around the ankle. It's not bad, it's just tight enough that it annoys me. I don't know why I changed my technique. So I have to undo it and redo it because the socks are nice, right? But this ankle, I don't know what I did. It's too tight. So I have to take that apart and redo it, which will probably take me less than an hour. I just have to get around to doing it. Maybe I'll do it today so they're done. Because they're kind of cute, right? We're getting into the season where comfy socks are a thing. I also made some socks for Andrew. His are probably upstairs because he's been wearing them all weekend. But I made him some really chunky socks. Those, I do know the yarn I used. It was this. It was the Lion Brand Respun Thick and Quick yarn. I've made a bunch of things with this yarn. And I had like a light blue color that he likes. So I made him some socks. I made me some socks. I'll definitely link the tutorial that I follow to make these because it's super easy. They come together super quick and the sizing is super easy. You don't have to take a lot of measurements. It's really shocking how easy they are and quick, and they don't need much yarn. I think you can make a pair of socks out of one skein of yarn, and I have pretty big feet, so if you don't have big feet, you'll definitely be fine with one skein of yarn. So, sock season. I'll probably be making more because these are nice gifts, I guess, and nice little quick projects to work up. In keeping with the fall theme, I bought some yarn last year from Joann's around this time, kind of Halloween themed yarn. It's from the Big Twist line. I don't know if we can get it anymore because of all the Joann stuff, but I had a few skeins of it. And I was like, maybe I'll make a table runner for our kitchen table out of this yarn. And I decided I would just do the corner to corner open block stitch, which I'm a big fan of. I have a tutorial on this too, and I've made a bunch of stuff using the open block stitch. But like everything else, I started it and then abandoned it. And I don't know if I'll continue it. I have other stuff I'm more excited about right now. You know, I might just put it away and finish it maybe for next fall. It's very pumpkin-y, it's very like Halloween in my opinion rather than fall. And there's only a couple weeks left until Halloween, so I don't know. I like it, but I think I have 3 skeins of this. I don't think I'll need all 3, but you know, it was one of those get an idea and start it and then don't finish it kind of projects. You know how that goes. Speaking of starting a project and not finishing it, I have a bunch of these Karen latte cakes. A lot. Like I think I have 4 or 5 different colorways and 3 or 4 skeins of each colorway. And it's a kind of a weird yarn. It's very halo-y. It's got kind of a weird texture to it. Soft for sure, but I haven't exactly figured out what the best project for this yarn is. I have this colorway, which is pretty. Pinks and yellows and oranges and whites. And YouTube recommended a couple weeks ago all the videos of people making 6-day star blankets. I know this is not a new thing, but I feel like there's been a resurgence lately because I've seen a lot of people making them this season. So I was like, well, maybe I'll make a 6-day star blanket. I thought I might make it for Andrew's mom, and I think she will like these colors. So one morning, I just started making the 6-day star blanket, and I have to say I really like it, and I think this yarn will be good for the project, just the way the colors change as it grows. And it's kind of a fun project for me because there's a lot of different stitches in it, and you really have to pay attention to your stitch count. I have stitch markers at every point, and every row you're doing a different stitch. None of it's hard, really, but you kind of have to pay attention. And a lot of the stuff that I make, you don't have to pay much attention to it. A lot of it is just very repetitive. So I'm enjoying this. It's pretty drapey. I can't remember what size crochet hook I used. I wrote it down, maybe a 7. So it's pretty drapey, but I think I like the look of it. I think for me personally, I would do this with a thicker yarn that's not as fuzzy, and maybe make it just a wee bit tighter, not so drapey. But I think Andrew's mom will like this, so I will continue this. This was another one of those, this was truly one of those I can't focus days where I was like, I just need to do something else. But have you guys made a star blanket? I saw a girl who made one with these latte cakes, and I think she used 2 of them, and it turned out a pretty good size. So I have quite a ways to go. I wrote down exactly where I was and how many stitches, because I feel like you can get lost in this one, or at least I can. But anyway, star blanket in progress. We went to Michigan at the end of September for a wedding, and I actually made a ton of granny squares on that trip. We drove, so I had a lot of time in the car. But I brought this with me too. I thought I might work on it, but I didn't. But Andrew and his mom like to poke fun at me for my granny hobby, and I make a lot of stuff, and to be honest, Andrew thinks a lot of the stuff I make is ugly, and maybe it is. So they kind of, you know, poke fun at me about that, and his mom had made a comment about, well, you should make something that's not ugly. They didn't like some of the yarn colors I was using, and it was just all in fun, but they're like, you should make something that's not ugly yarn. So I was like, Jill, her name's Jill. I'm like, Jill, and I pulled this out. I had a bag of yarn there, and I was like, do you like this or not? Like, kind of hostile. I'm like, do you like this or not? And she goes, yeah, I really like that one. That's a nice one. And I pulled this out, and I'm like, good, because I'm making this for you. But if you're going to tell me it's ugly, I'm not going to continue it. And then she was like, oh. She's like, no, actually, I really like that one. So I'm like, good, leave me alone and let me work on my stuff. So at least I know she's going to like these colors, because she got to see that as a sneak peek. While we're on the topic of my granny square blanket, do you guys want to see it? This is another thing, you know, it's a year-long project. It's a temperature blanket, so I started in January. We're nearing the end of the year somehow already, but I kind of dropped the ball on keeping on schedule with this one, because as you see, I've been starting so many other projects, but the intention was never to abandon this one. I really like how it's turning out. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite blankets, and it's just basic granny squares. But I got way behind. So when we went to Michigan on our road trip, I brought all my granny square yarn, and I just made squares that whole weekend. I think I made like 70 squares or something. I was more than 3 months behind. I'm now only about a month behind, which is good. So in the car, I'll show you, I was just making square after square. So this is my blocking board here. And I try to stay super organized. Like, if you'll see, I have squares blocked right now that are in order by day. Like, I know just by the configuration of this board what day it is and what row these belong on. But in the car, I just started making square after square and throwing them in a bag. So I got a little bit out of order. I did start tying them together, just like with a piece of yarn, by month. So like, this is July, and then the stuff that's not connected is for August. But I mean, it got a little chaotic, but I got way caught up. So I've actually been working on this this weekend. I connected 2 more rows of squares, and now I've blocked these. I've got like 3 more rows to attach. And that's really fun because the blanket is coming together. Let me show you. Let me move this chaotic mess out of the way, and I'll show you the blanket. Now keep in mind, I've only connected through almost the end of June, but we've got nearly half a blanket to show you. And I have a video where I talked all about planning out this blanket and how how I designed it and how I'm doing it. If you want to see that, I'll link that video below too. I'm just doing one solid square per day based on the temperature. 3 rounds. I'm using Big Twist value yarn that I bought at the end of last year, and I'm using a gray border, and I really like how it's turning out. I'm gonna have to stand up for this one to show you. Okay, let me try not to pull this whole thing apart as I show you, but this is my blanket. This is what we've got so far. Let me see if you can see. Doesn't it look fun? I just think it looks like chaotic and fun and playful. I really like it. So each, let's see if I can remember, each row has 18 squares. I think I'm going to end up with 24 rows total, and I'm putting a solid gray square between each month so you can see the division of the months, and it'll work out perfectly that way. But you can see I used kind of cooler colors here at the top, January, and then as we go down we've been changing. Now I've only connected through nearly the end of June, so the hottest months, July and August, are not on here yet, but I've made most of them. We've got a lot of those neons, as you saw. I'm not using like a standard temperature palette, like, you know, blue, purple for cold and red for hot. I just chose colors I liked, and I think it's super fun. So if you guys saw my temperature blanket last year that I made, it's the biggest blanket in the entire universe. I made one big granny square for each month and connected them all together, and it's massive. It's like 12 by 15 feet or something. It's huge. I'll link that video too if you want to check it out. This is going to be much more manageable. I think this will fit nicely, probably on a queen size bed when it's done. You know, it'll be a proper blanket, but that's it. So today, when I'm done filming, I'm going to work on joining up all these squares. I'm doing like a join as you go kind of deal for this blanket. So you connect all the squares in the row and then you join them together. I think in my video where I talked about how I'm mapping this out, I talked more about that technique, but I can also link a video where I learned how to do that join as you go method. It's by Be Hooked Crochet, I believe, and it's great. Do you guys want to see my one and only special square? This one. That's May 17th. That's our wedding day. A lot of people do different squares for special days of the year, and I didn't, but as I was getting through May, I was like, oh, it was our wedding day. And we had a very kind of like, I mean, we got married on our property in our forest. We were wearing green and brown. It was very kind of planty, naturey. So I had this variegated green yarn with sparkles in it, and I was like, you know what? We'll do that for our wedding day, for May 17th. Oh, I need a little coffee interlude here for a second. Okay, let's continue. So, as you guys know, a few weeks ago was the release of this year's line of Karen anniversary cakes. I'm a big fan. I only discovered them last year, but I became a big fan. So this year I got 3 new colorways, and then of course I had to try those out. So I'll show you the 2 that I started. I can't remember the name of this one. Hold on. So this was one of the colors I decided on this year, Tropical Breeze. I got 4 skeins of this one, and I got 4 skeins of this other one that I'll show you called Beach blanket. What the heck is it called? I'll put it below. I don't have another skein of it here with me. It's upstairs. But anyway, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with these. Let's not get completely tangled here. Too late, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with these, and I decided to give Entrelac another go. I tried to make an Entrelac blanket earlier in the year as B Hooked Crochet. She did a crochet challenge, like a blanket challenge that I participated in. I made a video about that too. But her project was an Entrelac project. I ended up not liking it and abandoned it and made a different blanket to donate. But I wanted to give it another go, so I did. So I started this. I think I just did this in a day, kind of just to see what it would look like and to make a video for you guys. But I really like how it's looking. It looks kind of patchworky, and I am going to finish it. I'm going to use all 4 skeins. It will be as big as I have yarn for. Entrelac uses a lot of yarn, so I have no idea how big it'll get, but it does work up in kind of the corner to corner method. So once I've used 2 skeins of yarn, or nearly 2, I'll just start decreasing, and hopefully it'll work out that I have enough to close up the blanket. But Entrelac is super fun. If you haven't tried it, it's kind of like Tunisian crochet a little bit, but you don't need Tunisian crochet hooks. You can use a regular crochet hook. Very fun. I'm just going to leave a bunch of links below because I don't make up any of this. I'm not that skilled. I just follow other people's tutorials. So I learned this from Be Hooked Crochet, and she has a couple of excellent tutorials on how to do Entrelac. So what the heck is this called? I already forgot. Tropical Breeze. Tropical Breeze will be an Entrelac blanket. I did this much of it. I made a video of it for you guys, and then I forced myself to put it away because I have so many other projects. So this one is going to go on the back burner for a bit while I finish some of the other ones. But I think this will be fun to work on in the winter because it feels very spring, summery, and I think that'll be nice in the cold, dark winter to work on something like this that I will have ready for the spring. Okay, so we're getting nearer to the end, guys, but I wanted to show you this one next. This is another one of the Karen anniversary cakes. This one is the colorway Beach Towel. I just finished my first cake of it in this blanket, so I don't have it to show you. The other ones are upstairs. But I have noticed this year the anniversary cakes don't seem to be selling out as quickly as last year. I also talked about that in a video. It seems like a lot of their colorways are recycled from another line, so they're not exactly new. A lot of people have seen these before, so I think that might be why they're not selling out as quickly. So you can still, I just looked so that I could recall the name of this color, and most of them are still available on the Michaels website, and they've been out for over a month, so you could probably still get your hands on them. But I really liked this Beach Towel colorway, and I wanted to try a waffle stitch blanket. I had experimented with waffle stitch, I don't know, sometime last year, and never continued it, but I thought it might be fun with this colorway, so I started, and I really like how it's turning out. So this is one enormous cake of the Beach Towel anniversary cakes, and I really like how it's turning out. Let me get a little closer so I can show you. So it's a waffle stitch rectangular blanket. I can link the tutorial I used to learn how to do it, but it's very repetitive as well. It's a 2-row repeat, and it gets all this really good texture in it. It's very squishy. It's very fun. It's mostly just double crochet at its base, at its foundation, so I think it's pretty beginner friendly, and I really like it. I think it's turning out pretty cool. It looks very, I think beach towel is a good descriptor, but I don't know, it seems very, both of these look a little bit kind of patchwork-y. That's a cool comparison to see the Entrelac with the waffle below it. They both look kind of patchworky in different ways, and I like it. I like it. It looks a little, maybe a little messy. If you're really kind of a particular person about how your yarns look, it might not be for you, but this looks even a little bit rustic, maybe even a little bit fall appropriate. I think because of the reds and there's almost like a brownish orange in it. And the yellows, it does kind of look like fall foliage a little bit with some blue and purple thrown in. But anyway, I'm really liking it. This is one cake and I have 4. So it won't be an enormous blanket, but I think it'll be a good size. I say enormous. My perception is totally skewed after I made that gigantic temperature blanket last year. I think this will probably be like a queen size, maybe. So I've got the 4 cakes, 3 left. It'll be as big as I can go with those cakes. So the waffle stitch does seem to eat a lot of yarn, so keep that in mind. It's very dense too. It's not dense like tight, but it's just because of the texture in it. It's very kind of 3D. I think this would be really good as a, depending on the yarn you use, as a baby blanket or even like a play mat. We have another baby on the way in the family, and I was thinking as I was making it, like, this would be like a nice little play mat for them. I think the little ones would enjoy the texture of it. It's a little heavy for a baby blanket, but I don't know, just a thought. I guess if you're going to make it a baby's playmat, make sure you have a washable yarn in case of mess. All right, 2 things left. We're getting closer. My fox is almost out of coffee too. All right, let me set this aside for a second. So this blanket is something I'm really enjoying. I started it a while ago, and again, it's like the, what do they call it? Monkey brain? I think that's like a Buddhist concept, right? Your mind is like a monkey swinging from tree to tree. I started a whole bunch of other things, but this I chose as a fall project. I think I started it late summer. My goal was to have it ready for fall. We're in fall and it's not ready, but that's okay. So I'm doing a granny ripple blanket with these colors. These are, again, the Lion brand Respun Thick and Quick yarns. They have a lot of great colors. I've used this type of yarn in a lot of projects and I really like it. It's thick, it's like a bulky weight yarn. I like the texture of it. It's not, you almost have to feel it to understand, because I don't know if I can describe it. It's soft, but not in the same way as, I don't know, you almost have to touch it. I really like it. I can see how someone might touch it and feel like it's scratchy, but I don't think it is. I think it's just soft in a different way. It's recycled polyester, I believe. I love the yarns, and they have such pretty colors. So I'm just doing 3 colors, a cream, this looks a little weird on camera, but it's like a really warm orange, and then a brown that is kind of like a charcoal brown color. It probably doesn't pick up very well. Maybe it does on camera. It's not gray and it's not black, but it's got a little kind of charcoal to the brown. And all of these yarns have just the smallest hint of a shine to them, which I didn't even notice until one day I was working on this in the front porch, in the sun, and I was like, whoa, these have a bit of a sheen to them. So it's a granny ripple pattern. I'm just doing 2 rows of each color, and I really like how it's turning out. Might have to back up to show you this one too. You see? I think it's super nice. Not too wide. This one you can actually see. Not too wide. Yeah, I really like it. This yarn is available. I will tell you guys a trick. They sell this at Michael's, I think, and it's about $12 a skein. If you go to Walmart, it's half price. You can usually get this for $5.50 a skein. They sell it in stores, but they usually only sell like the blue, the green, maybe the white at Walmart, but their website has all the colorways and they're $5.50. So that's much more reasonable in my opinion. And if you haven't tried this yarn, you definitely should. I really recommend it. I like it a lot. Chucky just fell on the ground. This was meant to be a fall project, and then I started all these other things. So in my order of operations, I'm gonna pick back up on this guy because I really want to be able to use him now as the weather is cooling off. So we're gonna get back to work on this guy first and the granny square temperature blanket. I gotta refocus my intentions on those first. And then I think I'm really digging my waffle stitch blanket, so that'll probably be the next one. I don't think this will take too long to finish. And then, the temperature blanket goes all year. So once this is done, I'll probably be bouncing between the waffle stitch and the temperature blanket until the end of the year. So I say that now. Who the heck knows what'll happen? Okay, one final thing to show you guys. So I made this last weekend, I believe. Rhinebeck is coming up, the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. It's very possible that when you guys see this video, I will be at Rhinebeck. I believe this is going up on Rhinebeck weekend. So I was going to ask if any of you guys will be there, but I guess maybe I'll just see you there if you are there. But I'm very excited. We live about 40 minutes from Rhinebeck, New York. And I went to the festival last year for the first time and it was super fun. I really liked it. I went crazy last year buying wool, and I bought an electric spinner, and I thought I was going to go wild and crazy spinning all my own yarns. The reality is I have barely touched that spinner. I had started with a drop spindle first, and then almost immediately decided that that was going to be too time consuming to make the volume of yarn that I was hoping to have. So then I bought a spindle, an e-spinner, and I fully intend to dive back into that. But a year has gone by and I barely have touched it. But anyway, really enjoyed Rhinebeck. If you guys are going / if you went, comment below. Let me know. If it's already passed, let me know what you enjoyed, what your favorite part was, your favorite shops, vendors, how much money did you spend? Tell me all of that below. But there's a tradition at Rhinebeck. People make a sweater to wear to Rhinebeck. They call it a Rhinebeck sweater. And I, last weekend, was like, I should make a Rhinebeck sweater. So I did. This is not fancy. A lot of people knit them. People get super, super involved in their Rhinebeck sweaters. I don't have that type of skill. But I can make a cardigan. So this is the same yarn as the orange in my Granny Ripple blanket. I wanted something that looked fall, that was easy to work up, and so I made this Rhinebeck cardigan. I will link, again, the tutorial I used to make this. I adapted the tutorial, so if you guys saw my video I made not that long ago, I had made some short-sleeved kind of cardigan-esque tops. I'll link that video below too. It's the same pattern that I followed to make the short-sleeved ones. I just made the sleeves longer. So this is, again, a bulky yarn, and it's kind of a mesh stitch. It's like a double crochet chain one kind of situation, so it's pretty breathable. You see, you can kind of see through it. But I wanted something to wear to Rhinebeck, and I've gotten a little bit better at making this now. This is probably the 5th time I've followed this pattern. First time I did it long sleeved, but that's not any harder than the short sleeved. So let me try it on and show you guys, and if you see this before Rhinebeck, maybe I'll try to upload it before Rhinebeck, but if you see me, if you're at Rhinebeck, I'll be the one in the orange cardigan. Come and say hi. But let me show you how it looks. Okay, I relocated a little bit so you can see. Also, I'm wearing like pajama pants, so ignore that. But this is how it turned out, which is exactly how I wanted it to turn out. The sleeves ended up being exactly the right length. This is how long I wanted it here. This may be my proudest moment in wearables. I know it's not as advanced as making a super cool knit sweater with a really complicated pattern, but it's progress for me, right? And I am going to link the tutorial below because it really truly is easy to follow, and once you've made one, it's pretty easy to visualize how to adapt and change it on your own. So I'm probably going to be wearing something exactly like this, like with a white tank top underneath at Rhinebeck, but I won't be wearing pajama bottoms. But anyway, what do you guys think? I really like it. Very proud of myself on this one. There are a lot of different things happening in front of me, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little update on all of the chaos that has been in my brain and translated into yarn through the beginning of fall, end of summer, and beginning of fall. I also needed to do this, make this video for you guys to get myself organized, because there has been a chaotic pile of projects in my living room, and I needed to sort through it. So thanks for hanging out. Comment below and let me know which is your favorite of the stuff I'm working on. I am really obsessed with my simple granny square temperature blanket. If you are considering it, it's almost the end of the year, it's almost the start of a new year, definitely check my link. I'll show you the last temperature blanket I made too, that video. Definitely consider it because it's a fun year-long project, and if you stay on top of it-ish, you don't have to do very much each day, and it'll wait for you to if you ignore it for 3 months like I did. But comment below and let me know what your favorite is. I think for me, apart from the wearable, it's got to be my waffle blanket, my current favorite, but I'm again really excited about my Granny Ripple here too. I'm excited to lay under it on the sofa when it's raining outside and watch a scary movie, which is probably what I'm going to do right now while I continue on the temperature blanket. I hope you guys are having a wonderful fall. I hope if you go to Rhinebeck, you enjoy it. I'm super excited. Andrew is going with me this year. He doesn't care about yarn, but he loves animals, and so he wants to see the animals. So if you're there and you see me, you might see him too. I know, amazing, right? But anyway, hope you guys are enjoying the fall. If you live in an area with beautiful fall foliage like we do, I hope you're enjoying that. And thanks for dissecting my chaotic mind with me this morning. Hope you guys are doing great, and until next time, take care, guys.